Ghost towns aren't just spooky backdrops for Hollywood. They're real places, abandoned yet alive with echoes. Some were mining settlements, deserted when the earth gave up its riches. Others carry unsettling legacies, stories steeped in danger and mystery. You've entered Shifting Veils, where we explore the unexplained, the paranormal, and the beautifully strange. I am Michelle,
And I am Isaiah.
and we're glad you're here. The wind moves differently in Pitcher, Oklahoma. It whistles through broken windows and rattles against the skeletal remains of houses, carrying with it not whispers of ghosts, but the invisible weight of toxins. Once this town was alive, born in 1913 when miners struck rich veins of lead and zinc. The discovery transformed a patch of prairie into a booming industrial hub. By the 1920s, Pitcher's streets bustled with more than 14,000 people, its mines fueling the nation's wars and prosperity. Half the lead used in World War I came from beneath this soil. But prosperity left scars. The mines carved deep wounds underground, leaving behind hollow shafts and unstable foundations. Above ground, mountains of chat, gray piles of crushed rock laced with lead rose like monuments to industry. Children climbed them, families used the gravel to fill driveways, and no one realized that every breath, every touch carried poison. That's crazy to think about.
That's almost radiated oatmeal level.
You're right. That's nuts. I can just picture like kids climbing those, and like playing in them, making forts maybe in them, and having neighborhood wars. I don't know. Maybe that
I
was just
would have
my
been
childhood, but
I would have been one of those kids. Remember, I used to have
I
I
totally
told
would.
I said we had rock wars. We'd sit there and sit on opposite rock piles and throw rocks at each other until somebody got hurt. Then it's like, all right, well, we gotta go find something else to do now.
Yeah, I remember like climbing through like gravel piles in one place that we lived. And when I went home, I was just covered in dust. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was white with that gravel dust. And I'm just thankful that it wasn't a fucking chat pile.
Yeah, apparently.
Not those chat piles. By the late 20th century, the truth surfaced. Studies revealed that more than a third of Pitcher's children had dangerous levels of lead in their blood. Learning disabilities, slowed growth, and neurological damage were traced back to the dust that coated their homes and playgrounds.
Is this like whenever people get testing now, they get like that heavy metal testing? Is that what
Mhm.
like this is? Like heavy metal poisoning?
Lead poisoning.
Just lead poisoning.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure. What
we
did
used to
it
joke
say? Lead and what?
yeah,
What was the other?
it's
Flipping
just
through zinc.
crushed rock laced with lead and yeah, zinc. Okay.
Yeah.
Um yeah, we used to joke about lead poisoning when we'd like write on each other with pencil lead. Oh, you're gonna get lead poisoning, but this is a different level, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. This is extra strength lead poisoning.
Don't get that off the shelf.
Then came the water. In 1979, acidic mine runoff bled into Tar Creek, turning it orange and lifeless. Fish died, plants withered, and the Environmental Protection Agency declared Pitcher part of a Superfund site. Millions were spent, but the contamination was too vast. The ground itself betrayed the town. Beneath Pitcher lay 14,000 abandoned mine shafts, and surveys show that most of the buildings, including schools, were at risk of collapse. The government offered buyouts, urging families to leave. Some resisted, clinging to their homes, their memories, and their community. But in 2008, an EF4 tornado tore through, destroying 150 houses and scattering what remained of hope. By 2009, Pitcher was officially disincorporated. The population fell from thousands to a handful. Streets emptied, businesses shuttered, and silence took hold. Today, only fragments remain. A few crumbling structures, the haunting silhouette of chat piles, and a lone gorilla statue commemorating a high school football championship, a strange, defiant relic in a poisoned wasteland. Pitcher is not haunted by ghosts. It's haunted by its own history, by the prosperity that turned fatal, by the invisible toxins that linger in the soil and air. To walk its ruins is to feel the weight of a town undone, not by war or fire, but by the slow, relentless poison of its own success.
That feels like, I mean, it's not the same level, but almost like a Chernobyl sort of site.
It does feel like that. It's amazing to me that people would stay even after all of that, that it took a flippin' tornado to tear through to get people to go. But maybe they were of the mindset of, well, I'm already poisoned. Uh, what's the point? Maybe. I don't know. It's just
Um,
crazy.
what what year was 1979? No, I mean, people made the people made the investment of a home.
Hmm.
They made an investment to make a life where they like stood. Like, I mean, that's you'll see a lot of families in the 60s and 70s where they're going to be defiant and stubborn and not want to leave their investment. They're what they've created with their own hands, basically, you
I
know?
could see that, but maybe, but then I want to say buyouts, but maybe they were just offering horrible buyouts.
I mean, you'll see even the one defiant single person not letting a buyout happen, you know?
Yeah.
And even in, I mean, there are people still wanting to stay even over in like the Chernobyl area. I mean, there's people still on the boundaries of that, irradiated place. So
Yeah.
you'll always see somebody wanting to stay behind.
You know what I don't get about Chernobyl specifically is that it's been shown that the I don't know if it's the marijuana plant or the hemp plant, one or the other, or maybe it's both, just actually devours radiation.
Hmm.
And I don't understand. Why are they not casting seed? Why are they not growing that shit? You know?
Um, I feel like it's because it's so highly irradiated, like that they just can't get close enough. Um, there are areas that are okay to go into, but even then, there's a time limit as to like how long you can be there.
We
I
got
used
long enough to put some plants in the ground.
That's
That's
true.
all I'm saying.
Uh, I used to look into it because as tragic and sad as it is, it's also fascinating because there
It
are
is.
plants and even leaves that fell that same autumn that fell and are still not degraded. And it's strange and very fascinating. And then there's people who make the eerie art on the walls in Chernobyl. Have you seen the
Yeah.
shadow pieces on the walls that
Yeah.
people do there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fascinating, tragic but fascinating area.
I don't know. I just feel like we made the mess. We should be attempting to clean it up.
That's actually there's a lot of theories as to what went wrong that day. I mean, they even have. I think there's even a theory that there's a Mothman sighting at that time too.
Really? So Mothman isn't just centralized to that one area. He's been
Mm-mm.
seen other places.
Mothman is a harbinger of something to come. Is basically what he is.
I'm I'm aware of that, but I
Oh,
thought
okay.
he was pretty localized.
Mm-mm. Nope. He's been seen multiple different places. But that's also just a theory. There's like 2, 3 main theories as to why things went wrong that day.
Hmm. Yeah, it is interesting.
There's I think a mini series that a dramatization of Chernobyl that's on Netflix. I think I don't know if it's still on there or if it was on Netflix, which was I got halfway through it and it was really interesting to watch. Anyway.
I'll have to
So,
look for it. No, you're fine. I'll have to look for it. Check it
the,
out. I was just thinking about the stupid Chernobyl movies I've seen, and they're just ridiculous. I
oh
hate
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're so
No,
dumb.
this one was spoken in native tongue, I believe. Like it wasn't done up in English. It wasn't an American. It might have. I don't know if it's an American movie or not, but it was their native language. It was just, but like I said, it's just a dramatization. But it's interesting. It was a sad thing. Like I said, tragic. I don't know how many times I can say that. It's tragic seeing the things that happened that day. Like even people trying to help the people coming out of there uh, died. Like the firefighters that were outside the building trying to help, they
Yeah.
died too. It was crazy. The legend of Atlantis may forever remain a myth, but in the quiet woods of western Maine lies a haunting truth. A real drowned town hidden beneath the still waters of Flagstaff Lake. Roughly 20 miles north of Wrangley, the lake conceals the remnants of once thriving communities. Bigelow, Dead River, and the original Flagstaff Village, places that lived, breathed, and then were deliberately erased. In the early 1800s, settlers carved their lives out of the wilderness here, drawn by the seemingly endless forests. Timber was wealth, and the logging industry ruled the region for more than a century. Families built homes, schools, churches, and cemeteries. Generations lived and died along the banks of the Dead River, never imagining that their towns would one day vanish beneath the water. In 1950, progress arrived with a heavy hand. The Central Maine Power Company sought to harness the river's force, and to do so, it needed a reservoir. The decision was final. Flagstaff and its neighboring townships would be sacrificed to create a hydroelectric dam. What followed was a dismantling of entire lives. Houses were torn down, barns dismantled, and businesses shuttered. Even the dead were not spared. Cemeteries were exhumed, coffins carried away, and bodies reburied elsewhere, as if the past itself was being uprooted. Residents fled, many resettling in the nearby town of Eustis, yet the memory of what was lost lingers like a shadow over the lake. On certain days when the water line dips low, locals whisper that the crest of the old Flagstaff Chapel still breaks the surface, a ghostly reminder of the drowned village below. Beneath the rippling water lies a silent graveyard of streets, foundations, and memories, an entire community entombed in a man made flood. Flagstaff Lake today is serene, its surface reflecting the mountains and sky, but those who know its history cannot look at it without unease. The lake is not just water, it's a veil hiding the bones of a town that once thrived, a place where laughter, labor, and prayer echoed before being swallowed whole. Unlike Atlantis, this lost city is real and its ghostly presence endures, waiting for those who dare to imagine what lies beneath.
I may need to go scuba diving.
I'd like to scuba dive. Only a lake.
Yeah, well, yes, and some lakes, but that one would maybe be neat to scuba dive. Might also be eerie. Um,
It would be, but I don't think you're going to find anything that's threatening except for something possibly collapsing on you, which is still scary.
yeah, it's still scary. Yeah, no, I wouldn't scuba dive in the ocean, and I don't think I'd scuba dive any of the lakes here because we have catfish that are
Mean, to
giant.
say the least.
And they say we don't have them in most parts of the state, but we do have alligators. So yeah, no thank you. But yeah, no, that sounds kind of sounds neat. Sounds like it would be kind of neat to scuba dive there.
I think what would be probably beautiful in an eerie way for, I don't know, normal people, but to take an underwater camera and go down there and take photos of it, get
Mm-hmm.
the light rays coming through on certain
Mm-hmm.
parts, or
Sure.
bring your own lighting. I think that would be a beautiful imagery.
You're dreaming of an art project.
I always dream up art projects. I am a creative person,
I
but
mean,
I've
it sounds cool. I
I've
can
got like
picture it.
10 unfinished art pieces sitting around my apartment.
Um, I don't think I have any unfinished.
No,
I have
because you finish yours.
I finish mine and then I go back and finish them again. I'll finish them and hang them up and look at them for a few months and be like, you know what? Nope. And then I put them back on the easel and I do some more to them and I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
now it's done. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've just been sketching lately. Nothing painted. Sketching and writing. That's it. I haven't tried to paint with the kittens. I'm afraid they're gonna get in my paint mess, but I need to try it soon.
Well, that should add to the allure because
Mm,
that's still a part of you being put into it.
you know what? You know, I could I could sell cat artwork. Like they could make the artwork.
Yeah, I was just thinking you have them get a little bit of that paint on their paws and
I mean, why not? There's a pig in South Africa. They call
mhm.
Pigosco. Picasso? Pig yeah. Pig
I know what you're saying.
Picasso. I have to say it fast or it doesn't come out right. Picasso. Picasso. Yeah. Millions of dollars he sells his paintings for. A flippin' pig. Yeah.
And there's a dog out there too that paints its own. I think there's a horse too. I mean,
An
yeah,
elephant.
absolutely, yeah.
I wonder which one of my boys is an artist. Stefano or Hades.
I'm gonna put it on Hades because he sleeps a lot.
Well, he's definitely not starving. Oh my gosh. He's not a starving artist. Um, have you ever wondered if an entire town could be cursed? Have you ever wondered
Oh,
if an entire
oh
town
yeah,
could be
oh
cursed?
yeah, absolutely.
Tucked away in the rolling hills of northwestern Connecticut lies a place that has provoked this very question for centuries. Known as Dudleytown, this small settlement within Cornwall Township was established in 1747, its founders carving out a community in sightless haste at the edge of a dense, shadowed woodland ominously named the Dark Entry Forest. What began as a hopeful village quickly became a place whispered about in dread. From its earliest days, Dudleytown seemed marked by misfortune. Families who settled there endured a relentless string of tragedies, bouts of insanity, inexplicable suicides, violent deaths, and whispers of murder. The population never grew large. At its peak, only about 26 families called Dudleytown home. Yet the rate at which calamity struck them was unnervingly high, far beyond what one might expect in a rural settlement of its time. Some historians argue that the hardships were simply the product of isolation and scarcity. The rocky soil made farming difficult, resources were limited, and the community struggled to sustain itself. Others, however, believe something darker was at work. The surrounding forest, thick and aphotic, seemed to press in on the town, its silence broken by strange noises and sightings of unrecognizable creatures.
Does this forest have like information and websites on it? I'm curious now.
I'm sure. Look it up.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. I'm curious. Either
Google.
it's either the forest or it's just the curse of naming your town Dudleytown.
Look up Dark Entry Forest. The land here is unforgiving, rocky soil, steep hills, and dense forests that swallow the light. To men like Thomas Griffiths and Gideon Dudley, however, such obstacles mattered little. Their decisions would set in motion a chain of misfortunes that haunted generations. Griffiths first purchased land from Yale College in 1738 in a place ominously named Mast Swamp. The swamp's towering trees were felled and floated down the, I'm not sure how to, Houstonic, I think
Housatonic.
it's Houstonic River, to become ship masts, a fleeting prosperity carved from wilderness. By 1747, Griffiths sold a parcel nearby to Gideon Dudley and his family. This transaction marked the beginning of what would later be called Dudleytown. The Dudleys carried with them more than ambition. Legend insists they brought a curse that stretched back to the 16th century England. Edmund Dudley, an ancestor, was beheaded in 1510 after being implicated in a coup against King Henry VIII. His son John Dudley rose to power only to be executed during the reign of Lady Jane Grey. John's son Guilford Dudley married, we're doing long names now. Almost stumbled on that one. Guilford. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Have you ever known a Guilford?
No,
What do you
but have you ever
nickname
known
that
a
person?
Gaylord?
Gildy? Hey, Gildy. What do you, a
They probably
Gaylord? No.
Ford. They go by Ford Dudley.
John's son Guilford Dudley married Jane Grey herself, the 9 Days Queen, and was executed alongside her when she was overthrown. 3 generations extinguished in blood, and with them a curse said to cling to the family line. That line eventually reached Gideon and his brothers, Abiel, and Barzilai. Yeah, Barzilai, who settled in Connecticut. Crazy names.
I
Uh,
mean that.
Apologies to anyone that's named Abiel and Barzelli. I don't mean to
No,
insult you.
those might be more original than Apple or North or
Uh
I
huh.
don't know.
From the beginning, Dudleytown seemed ill fated. Nestled between 3 large hills, the geography cast shadows so deep that even at noon the village lay in gloom. Farming was nearly impossible. Winters were brutal, and the soil refused to yield. Timber became the only reliable industry, but the community faltered. By 1854, the census recorded those 26 families we mentioned earlier as its total population. These few endured a staggering number of tragedies that continue to draw curious trespassers into the region today. The curse struck early. Nathaniel Carter, who lived in Dudleytown between 1759 and 1764, left on business only to return to horror. His wife and infant child were killed by indigenous people of the area. Well, no, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. We He fled back to New York with his surviving family, only to be murdered himself soon after. I'm sorry. Abiel Dudley, one of the founding brothers, succumbed to dementia and insanity, dying in the town at age 90. Okay, well, 90 is kind of
in the
understandable for dementia.
in the 1700s, nobody lived to 1990 or 90 years
Right.
old.
Yeah, that kind of makes me think back to like a completely different subject, but the Bell Witch, the guy that supposedly was killed by the Bell Witch, he was an
Mhm.
old dude. He was
Yeah.
an old man, He
Yeah.
got to live a long age considered the time it was in history.
A long age.
Sure.
Not an old age. He lived to a long age. A long time, long age.
Exactly. Don't make fun of me. Well, you can. Actually, it's fine. I think
Mm.
it's funny too.
It's it's just how it's the words, not you. It's the words.
Well, I'm going to make long age a thing. From now on, no one's going to say old age. They're going to say a long age.
I want to live to a long age. Not really, but go. I want the medium age. I'm gonna pull into a drive-through. I would like a large Coke and a medium age, please.
mm. His friend Gershon Hollister fell to his death while building a barn in 1792. The barn's owner, William Tanner, soon descended into madness, claiming a strange creature from the forest had killed Hollister. The stories multiplied. Sarah Fay, struck by lightning in 1804, died instantly in front of her home. Her husband, Revolutionary War hero General Herman Swift, lost his mind in grief. In 1872, Mary Cheney, wife of presidential nominee Horace Greeley, committed suicide just days before the election. Greeley lost his bid to Ulysses S. Grant, and whispers claimed the deadly curse had claimed them both. Even as the town dwindled in the 20th century, the curse did not relent. John Patrick Brophy, one of the last residents, watched his wife die of tuberculosis before his two children vanished into the woods. He followed, never to be seen again. Their home later burned in a mysterious,
Mysterious.
mm, mysterious fire, leaving only ash and rumor. Dudley's final chapter belongs to the Clark family. Dr. William Clark, a respected cancer specialist, purchased property in 1900 as a holiday retreat. I mean, yeah, because it sounds enticing, right? Let's vacation there. I wonder, did he take out like a really good life insurance policy first
You,
on his
this
wife?
this day and age, we can't really. I mean, we can joke about it, but like, I mean,
And
people
I
want to
will.
go and stay at bed and breakfasts that are haunted, where people are getting pushed downstairs and stuff. People want to stay at those places, so I imagine people would want to go here.
In 1918, while away on business, he returned to find his wife in a state of terror, claiming strange creatures prowled the forest. Soon after, she took her own life. Clark remarried and remained in the area until his death in 1943, founding the Dark Entry Forest Association, which continues to preserve the land today. What remains of Dudleytown is not a town at all, but a ruin swallowed by the forest. Cellar holes, stone walls, and faint traces of foundations lie hidden beneath moss and shadow. The Dark Entry Forest is now private land, patrolled and protected, yet its reputation as the cursed village endures. Visitors speak of unnatural silence, sudden chills, and shapes moving in the trees. Whether tragedies were the product of isolation, poor soil, and superstition, or the lingering echo of centuries old curse, the story of Dudleytown has become a legend. That sounds really fascinating, honestly. The
Yeah.
history and the whole area, and the mention of uh, unknown creatures or strange creatures is interesting to me too, because I couldn't find any description of these creatures.
hmm
It was just that they existed. So I don't know what they looked like
I would
or
like
did.
I would like to see some like shots of this actual forest.
I imagine you can find some.
Oh, that's a eerie shot. Yeah, I imagine so. I'm gonna have to look it up after we're done and when editing happens. But like, the name where it's at, like I'm curious
Mhm.
because creatures. I mean, they already talked about indigenous peoples in the area. Are they creatures or were they
Briefly.
indigenous people with like animal skins on their heads?
They
Hiding
could
out in the
have
woods.
been. They could have been. And I mean, if this was their land, then obviously they're going to be uh present and about.
I mean,
And
sure, blame the indigenous guy.
I mean,
I'm just joking.
not really. Blaming people that want to settle a land that is
Does
already in the, someone else's care. I don't want to say possession, really,
No, I know
um,
what you mean. That's why
but
I
in
was
someone
joking.
else's care. So, but yeah, I wouldn't really call it their fault, you know.
No. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I was just cracking a joke is all. Um, yeah, no, I mean, well, this falls into that one of the things. Remember when we were talking about, I think it was the Enfield monster, right? Enfield,
Maybe.
where we were talking about the monster and there was only a description but no images, not even of the footprints or anything like that. There was nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like just the witness statements.
Because that guy made it up. Sorry.
Well, not just the guy, but the little boy too. Remember his shoes?
Okay, well, he came back and said he made it up.
He had proof with his shoes.
I think he got hung up in a fence or something, and he didn't want to get in trouble for messing up his new shoes.
Yeah.
Listen, this is my opinion. It's not fact or anything like that. It's not verified. It's just my opinion of the Enfield horror. Maybe it's real and I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Who are you saying sorry to?
Anybody listening that believes in the Enfield horror.
If you believe in the Enfield horror and have proof of it, send it to us. We want to see.
Yeah, please do send it to us. I would like to see also. My sincere
We
apologies for
we
laughing
we
about this subject.
we have the website and the email, so you can send it to
Mm-hmm.
us. Come on now.
Yep. Yeah, we'll do another episode. Send
Hot,
us photographs.
please.
We'll do like unsolved mysteries where they're like update.
Do 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 do
Right.
do 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 do.
Yep. So send them on in. We want to see them. Sorry.
Update on the Enfield horror.
The skeptic in me got
I I
excited for a minute.
I can't do a stacker voice. If
I
we
can't
we got to
either.
work on the stacker voice.
I can't either. I can't even imitate like the update music, you know?
So the music that gave everybody nightmares. All right. High in the Colorado Rockies, nearly 10,000 feet above sea level, lies a town that time abandoned. St. Elmo, once a bustling mining settlement, now sits in eerie silence just outside the Gunnison National Forest, south of Mount Harvard. Today, it is remembered as one of Colorado's most haunted ghost towns, but it wasn't always this way. The year was 1880. Gold and silver fever swept through the mountains, and prospectors poured into the region, lured by the promise of fortune. Within months, St. Elmo sprang to life, streets filled with miners, merchants, and families. At its height, nearly 2,000 people called the town home. Wealth flowed from the surrounding mines, producing tens of millions of dollars in precious metals. The town boasted a town hall, hotels, saloons, and a schoolhouse, and even its own newspaper. St. Elmo was alive, vibrant, and full of promise. But prosperity in the Rockies was fleeting. By the 1920s, the veins of gold and silver had run dry. The mines closed, and with them, the heartbeat of the town. Families packed up and left. Businesses shuttered, and silence crept in. What had once been a flourishing community became a hollow shell, its buildings left to decay in the mountain air. Yet St. Elmo did not fade quietly. Strange stories began to circulate, accounts of paranormal activity more frequent here than anywhere else in Colorado. Visitors spoke of footsteps echoing through empty streets, lantern lights flickering in abandoned windows, and voices carried on the wind. The most infamous spirit said to linger is Annabelle Dirty Annie Stark. In life, Annie, Annie, are you okay?
You too.
In
Had it in
life,
my head too.
in life, Annie was known for her eccentric, reclusive nature, often seen roaming the streets with a shotgun slung over her shoulder.
Actually, it was just Michael Jackson in general. You said Dirty Annie, and I was like, Dirty Diana.
Oh,
And
wait,
and then Annie, I was like, Annie, are you okay? So
yeah.
yeah, Michael Jackson was just having a little party in my brain there. I'm sorry. Carry on.
In death, she seems okay. She has a shotgun. In death, she is said to do the same. Locals and tourists alike claim to have seen her spectral figure pacing the dirt roads at night, her presence both unsettling and defiant, as though she refuses to let go of the town she once guarded. Though haunted, St. Elmo is not entirely forgotten. The general store still opens during summer months, offering goods to curious travelers who come to explore its weathered buildings and mountain scenery. The town has become a destination for adventurers, history enthusiasts, and those drawn to the supernatural. But St. Elmo is not just another ghost town. Among the countless abandoned settlements scattered across Colorado's mountains, this one stands far apart. Its history is rich, its decline tragic, and its legends chilling. To walk its streets is to step into another time where echoes of prosperity mingle with whispers of the past. St. Elmo's silence is the echo of minds gone dry, its ghostly figure born from economic collapse and the restless spirit of Dirty Annie. But not all ghost towns are haunted by legends alone. Some are poisoned by catastrophe, abandoned in haste, and sealed off by invisible danger. Thousands of miles away, across the Atlantic, lies a city whose emptiness was not carved by time but by radiation. Pripyat, Ukraine, frozen since 1986, stands as one of the most chilling reminders of human ambition gone wrong. Pripyat was once a model Soviet city, built in 1970 to house workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Why didn't you say anything about me talking about this earlier? By 1985, nearly 49,000 residents lived here, most of them young families. The average age was just 26.
Sorry.
You could have told me to shut up.
I could have. But that wouldn't have been as much fun.
Schools, kindergartens, shops, and cultural centers thrived. The amusement park, with its now iconic Ferris wheel, was scheduled to open for May Day celebrations in 1986. But on April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 exploded, releasing radioactive material across Europe. For 36 hours, life in Pripyat continued as normal. Children went to school, families shopped, and workers reported to the plant. Only when radiation sickness began to appear, metallic tastes, headaches, vomiting, did the truth begin to surface. On April 27th, buses arrived to evacuate the city. Residents were told to pack lightly, expecting to return in 3 days. They never did. Their belongings, toys, and meals remain untouched, a chilling snapshot of interrupted lives. Decades later, Pripyat is part of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a restricted area covering 2,600 kilometers. Radiation levels vary. Some outer areas are safe for short visits, while hotspots like the Red Forest remain dangerous. The city itself is crumbling. Apartment blocks are collapsing under the weight of trees. Schools are littered with gas masks, and rust consumes playgrounds. It is safe to say that nature has reclaimed the land. Wolves, lynx, bears, and even bison roam freely, thriving in the absence of humans. This paradox, life flourishing where humans cannot, adds to the uncanny atmosphere. Visitors report an overall creep factor due to everything appearing to be frozen in time. Toys, textbooks, and furniture remain exactly as they were in 1986. The buildings creak, wind whistles through broken windows, and vegetation grows unchecked. You have to carry Geiger counters everywhere you go, hearing the ominous clicks rise near contaminated zones. The Ferris wheel, hospital, and swimming pools stand untouched by human hands as monuments to lives abruptly halted. Personal accounts from visitors often describe Pripyat as surreal and unsettling. One traveler recalled walking through a kindergarten where dolls lay scattered on dusty floors, saying it felt like the children had just stepped out and never returned. Another described the silence as deafening, broken only by the sound of the Geiger counter ticking. Some visitors report an overwhelming sense of being watched, even though the city is empty. Or is it? Others mention the eerie contrast between the beauty of nature reclaiming the land and the tragedy that forced humans out. Since Ukraine opened the exclusion zone to tours in 2011, tens of thousands of visitors have come each year. For many, Pripyat is not just a ghost town, it is a place of remembrance, a reminder of human ambition and its catastrophic consequences. Walking through Pripyat today feels like stepping into a dystopian novel. Every rusted swing, every abandoned classroom, and every silent street tells a story of a city that lived, died, and now lingers as a haunting echo of history.
From the drowned foundations of Flagstaff Lake in Maine to the toxic silence of Pripyat in Ukraine, each ghost town tells a story of human ambition, tragedy, and the relentless passage of time. Some were undone by nature's cruelty, poor soil, brutal winters, or forests that seemed to whisper madness. Others fell to the weight of progress, hydroelectric dams, exhausted mines, or the invisible poison of radiation. And in each, legends grew, spectral figures pacing abandoned streets, curses carried across centuries, and the eerie stillness of places where laughter once echoed. What unites them is the silence. These towns, once alive with families, industry, and hope, now stand as monuments to impermanence. Their schools are empty, their churches collapsed, their playgrounds rusting. Yet they endure not in life, but in memory, in folklore, and in the uneasy fascination of those who dare to visit. Ghost towns remind us that no matter how strong a community may seem, it can vanish in an instant, swallowed by water, forest, or catastrophe. There are places where history lingers like a shadow, where the line between fact and legend blurs, and where the past refuses to let go. So, whether haunted by spirits, cursed by bloodlines, or poisoned by radiation, these towns remain as warnings and wonders. To walk their streets is to feel the weight of lives interrupted, to hear echoes in the silence, and to know that some places are abandoned not just by people, but perhaps by time itself.